Найти его вместо Конора Илья Topuria может быть?
Мадалена самый сложный соперник в Ислама карьере. Мое мнение. Ни Чарльз, никто.
I think him going to 170 to fight Islam, if Islam wins, is a stretch. You know, Islam's big, man.
Former UFC lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov has stunned the MMA world by claiming that Jack Della Maddalena, JDM, would be a tougher opponent for Islam Makhachev than Ilia Topuria. Khabib also dismissed the idea that Ilia could become the next Conor McGregor. In a recent interview, Khabib stated that he doesn't believe Ilia has what it takes to reach McGregor's level. When asked about the comparison, he simply said no, adding that while Ilia is a good guy trying to make a name for himself, he doesn't see him rising to Conor's status. Khabib also reflected on his fight with McGregor, emphasizing how Conor's usual mental warfare didn't affect him. He said he was in the best mental shape of his career at the time and handled the situation flawlessly. According to Khabib, by the time they stepped into the cage, McGregor realized his mind games had failed and that it would come down to pure skill, not psychological tactics.
Вместо Конора Илья Topuria может быть?
Не, он хороший парень.
Да.
Пытается быть кем-то. Сразу же видно. Ну вот тебе вопрос. Не, я не думаю.
Khabib also spoke about
Khabib
Conor.
Nurmagomedov believes Jack Della Maddalena would be the toughest opponent of Islam Makhachev's career, even more so than Charles Oliveira or Ilia Topuria. He explained that Maddalena is physically bigger than Ilia, with stronger legs, a more powerful frame, and equally sharp boxing skills. Khabib also praised Maddalena's grappling ability and noted that, in his opinion, preparing Islam for a fight against Maddalena would be more challenging and exciting than preparing for a bout with Ilia. Fans agreed Khabib might be right, citing his history of accurate fight predictions. Before the Topuria vs. Oliveira fight, Khabib had correctly analyzed the matchup, pointing out that Oliveira often gets dropped in fights, and warning that Ilia's power could end the bout early if he landed clean. Character. He stated that if Umar bounces back, it will prove he's meant to be a champion and, if not, maybe he never was. I prefer they get through those situations on their own. Of course I'm always there to help, but it's better for them in the long run, Khabib said. He added that if Umar recovers, wins, and earns a title shot, the success will feel even more meaningful. Though it would have been a perfect story to see both Islam and Umar become champions, Khabib suggested that perhaps it was God's way of protecting Umar from something greater. He also shared a bold take on UFC rules, saying he would eliminate rounds entirely, proposing, instead, one 15-minute round for regular fights and a single 25-minute round for title bouts. Predicted the bout would be a tough, exciting battle. UFC legend Daniel Cormier also analyzed the potential matchup between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, highlighting the strengths of both fighters. He praised Jack's toughness and striking power, but emphasized that Maddalena has never faced a wrestler like Islam. Cormier pointed out that Islam's grappling is distinctly and more on trips, pressure, and positional control than traditional takedowns, which could overwhelm Jack early in the fight. Despite recognizing Islam's advantages, Cormier admitted he couldn't offer a definitive prediction, partly due to his responsibility to remain neutral a few times before seriously considering a move to challenge someone like Islam at welterweight.
I think it'd be good, but people be sleeping on Jack, you know what I mean? And I think Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and I think people is gonna find out when that match happens. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's gonna be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack for I don't know what reason. They just keep counting him out. Kind of reminds me of when I was like coming up and counting me out about certain fights. So I mean, he is he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world right now, but he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world for a reason. So you gotta respect that, but don't sleep on Jack. I think it's gonna be a tough and fun
Dustin
fight.
Poirier also shared his thoughts on Islam Makhachev's potential move to welterweight, stating that Islam is naturally built for the division and has a real shot at becoming champion. He pointed out that Islam is already a large lightweight, so moving up to 170 pounds should be a smooth transition. Poirier expressed interest in a possible matchup with Jack Della Maddalena, noting that the early moments of the fight will be crucial, particularly in seeing how Jack handles the threat of being taken down by someone with Islam's elite grip.
He was defending well, and he puts damage on you.
Off rip.
Starts putting damage on you. And he can box hard.
How do you see that fight with him and Islam? Does he have the ability to beat a guy like Islam?
He'll get takedown attempts coming at him very early. This time. The last fight, he didn't have to deal with that when he was to pressure him early and take him down early, or even just make a struggle. I don't know that he's ever felt anything like he's going to feel, because it's not going to be double legs and single legs with Islam. It's going to be him playing with his feet, tripping him, moving around on the octagon side, doing things that he don't recognize as freely.
But she didn't answer the question.
Problem is, I can only give you that because I can't truly make a prediction. The job doesn't.
Moreover, Arman Tsarukyan also gave his prediction for the potential matchup between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena, calling it a tough and competitive fight. He praised Jack's sharp boxing and solid defensive skills, but emphasized that Islam's relentless pressure and superior grappling would likely be the deciding factors. Arman believes Islam has the ability to take Jack down and control him on the ground, which could ultimately lead to a victory for the reigning lightweight champion.
Who do you think should be next for Ilia?
Who should be next for Ilia? 55 has always been so cloudy at the top. Maybe Gaethje. I think him going to 170 to fight Islam, if Islam wins, is a stretch. You know, Islam's big, man. I've never seen Ilia in person, but he seems smaller. I know obviously he can knock anyone out. I do think if they fight, Ilia can knock anybody out from 45 to 170. He has the skills, the power, the technique, and but we've just never seen him in there with somebody that big and somebody with that caliber of wrestling. But I think he should defend the 55 title a few times before that's talked about.
Jorge Masvidal also weighed in on Islam Makhachev potentially moving up to face Jack Della Maddalena, noting that Islam is already a big lightweight who might actually perform better at welterweight. He acknowledged Jack as a special talent and said that beating him would prove just how elite Islam truly is. "I've seen Islam. He's a big guy, cutting a lot of weight to get to 155. I think he might do even better at 170, Masvidal said, but Jack is special. If Islam beats him, wow, that's impressive. While leaning slightly toward Islam, Masvidal admitted it would be a tough and exciting fight. He compared Jack's takedown defense against Belal Muhammad to what he might face with Islam, noting that while Belal has elite cardio, he doesn't possess Islam's technique or calculated pressure. Masvidal praised Jack's early striking faster hands, better range, and more power, but suggested Islam could begin finding success in the stand-up as the fight progresses. Islam's wrestling is next level, and his stand-up is improving, he added. Meanwhile, grappling expert Craig Jones said the matchup would be extremely challenging for Islam and hinted that Jack's unique style and physical attributes could present unexpected problems. He suggested these factors might even influence Islam's future decisions in the division.
What's your thoughts on him moving up to welterweight?
He's a big guy. I think he's going to fill into that weight. He's a really big 155er. So I think his lifestyle outside of training camp is going to be a little more comfortable, and he'll fill into that weight class no problem. He could be champion there for sure.
How do you think he does against JDM?
I think the beginning of the fight's going to tell the story, like how well JDM does at getting up, how well JDM does at keeping Islam off of his feet, off of his legs, off of the cage. It's tough to call that because JDM's a big guy, athletic. I'm excited about that. A lot of fun fights.
UFC featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski believes Jack Della Maddalena's fight against Belal Muhammad was the perfect preparation for facing someone like Islam Makhachev. He explained that successfully stopping takedowns builds real confidence, especially for fighters who may have lingering doubts about being controlled on the ground. Volkanovski said that experience helped Jack grow both mentally and technically, boosting his self-belief in defending against high-level wrestling. "I think Jack's fight against Belal was the perfect lead-in," Volkanovski said. "Every fighter has those little doubts. What if he takes me down? But Jack stopped the takedowns, looked comfortable, and I guarantee he's leveled up." He added that Jack's confidence is now at a completely different level, and if he's back training, most fighters will struggle to take him down. Only the very best might have a chance, and even they would have a hard time holding him down. Meanwhile, an MMA guru predicted that Islam Makhachev would win the fight by second-round TKO. He envisioned Islam attempting early takedowns, which Jack defends while landing a few solid shots to ignite the crowd. But during an exchange, Islam would fake a takedown, clinch up, and land a devastating knee to the body that changes the momentum, leading to a dominant finish.
Maddalena is a top, good boxing, good defense, but I believe Islam has a good pressing, and he could take him down and hold him.
I think it's a super difficult fight. Obviously, he's faced Volk twice. The first one very competitive. And now we're facing a guy that's best scrambling ability, period, in all of MMA. I think that's what Belal struggled with. So I think size difference is going to be quite a lot than people think. We've seen how Volk did on the ground, how much Islam struggled with him. Jack beats Islam, puts Islam in a typical position. Does he now go back down to fight Ilia?
I've got Makhachev.
I got Makhachev as well.
And I've got Makhachev second round TKO with a knee.
Oh, yeah, you going bad rounds.
Yeah, I think he'll shoot a couple takedowns. Ilia will stuff in. Ilia will catch him a few times, and people will go ooh and ah. And then when they clash again, I think Makhachev will go grab him. Ilia will think, oh, he's shooting again. Tight clinch, bang, body, knee to the head. Ilia's all of a sudden stumble downhill from there. I think he beats Oliveira with a body.
Ian Gary also weighed in on the highly anticipated matchup, saying it's a tough one to break down because Islam Makhachev is phenomenal everywhere. But size will play a major role at welterweight. He pointed out the noticeable size gap between Alexander Volkanovski and Jack Della Maddalena, emphasizing that even fighters like Volk and Dustin Poirier gave Islam tough fights. Gary believes Jack has the clean boxing and strong takedown defense to win, but also acknowledged a scenario where Islam dominates as he usually does. It's tough to talk about because Islam is phenomenal, Gary said. He's good everywhere, but size matters when you're talking about an extra 15 pounds. The size difference between someone like Volkanovski and Jack is huge. Size will be a big factor even on the ground. I feel like Jack could get it done with his boxing and defense, but I can absolutely see Islam coming in and doing what he does. The guy just looks like a phenomenal mixed martial artist. That wraps up today's video. Don't forget to share your thoughts and predictions about this fight in the comments and subscribe for more updates on this epic showdown.